What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys an NFL Week 11 DFS video. I'm going to give you guys one play that I'm liking for each position using FanDuel salaries. We have 11 games on this main slate for Sunday, 8 in the early wave, 3 in the afternoon wave. There's a lot of questionable guys, especially for receivers, that we're going to have to wait till the weekend on. But as of right now, there's some really good value plays still out there. Some decent, high over-unders. We haven't seen a lot of weeks with, 44 over-unders and up, but there's a majority of games on this slate, especially in the early games, that have a pretty sizable over-under. So I'm doing a free Guru credit in this video. Guru credit code 15 credits for you guys. Like the video and subscribe. I will give you that code for my website after the first couple of my plays, as I usually do. And we'll jump right into things. We had a nice week 10 single game slates. We had some awesome results. Sunday we had a great day. Main slate, 1 o'clock slate. Monday Night Football, we almost took down tournaments on DraftKings and FanDuel. So let's continue here, bring in the good vibes, and have a nice week 11 here. So jumping right into quarterback, this Cardinals and Texans game is definitely, in my opinion, the best game to pick from on Sunday. We have a 49 over-under. It's a 5-point spread. We got Kyler Murray back for the Cardinals. CJ Stroud is in fantastic form, looking like the rookie of the year. So two pretty nice offenses against, some below-average defenses. So that always pans out to be a nice DFS target. We're going to look at Kyler Murray at 7,600. He looked good against the Falcons in his first game back. Didn't really show much rust. I thought he was going to be, not so great. He didn't even throw a passing touchdown, but he did run one in, and that's what Kyler Murray brings to the table. He's a rushing quarterback. He can always score on the ground, which is huge in fantasy because, especially on FanDuel, you have 4 points for a throwing touchdown and 6 for a rushing. So the rushing touchdowns are definitely more important for quarterbacks. He still threw for 250 yards, has a great matchup facing a worse defense. The Texans defense has been bad against the pass this year, 24th against the pass. And over the last 2 weeks, the Texans have given up a bunch of points. If you go over to the Texans defense, they gave up 27 against the Bengals last week and then 37 against a pretty, average at best Buccaneers offense. So over the last 2 weeks, they've given up 64 points. They're not really clicking over there. They're in Houston, a dome, just an offensive-friendly environment, which is the main reason why it's a 49 over-under and is at the top of the list for game totals on Sunday. Murray looks good at 7,600. It's not exactly a cheap price, but it's not an expensive price either. So we can project him for around, 15 to 20 fantasy points again this week, and that's, all he needs at 7,600. He obviously has a lot of upside too. If you wanted to spend $400 more on CJ Stroud on the other side, I definitely don't mind that. He's been fantastic this year, putting up, a bunch of fantasy points, averaging just shy of 20 fantasy points on the year. So you go to Stroud too. I like both of these quarterbacks. We have a nice cheap, whenever you need a cheap quarterback, Matthew Stafford is there for you, and he's back this week after a bye week. He missed one game. 6,700 against a, average at best defense in Seattle. Stafford could be fine if you wanted to pick Cooper Kupp. It's a good idea to pair him with Stafford. Stafford can always cook. He's very cheap, but we'll go with Kyler Murray in this video for my QB play. I like that price at 7,600. For running back, we have some question marks, especially in Miami. We don't know yet about, if A-Chain's coming back after the bye week, if Mostert's going to play, but they have a great matchup against the Raiders. I'm going to look at Brian Robinson Jr. He's looked great. Antonio Gibson is questionable. Not that it really matters because Gibson is the number 2. But if Gibson's out, we could probably give a couple more touches towards Brian Robinson. It's an unbelievable matchup against this Giants defense. This Giants team in general, they've been lost. Daniel Jones, out for the year. He's been, in and out with injuries. This team is just, an absolute nightmare. Commanders look like a really good team on Sunday. They're big favorites. They're 9-point favorites. So, this spread really benefits the running game. The script is predicting the Commanders to be up in this game by, more than a touchdown. So they might rely on the running game a lot, especially in the second half. And we saw Robinson's upside through the air last week against the Seahawks. 6 catches for 120 yards. Since he's come into the league, he hasn't been a big pass catcher, but, he's fully capable of it now. That's definitely in play after seeing him last week. Only 8 touches on the ground, but, he had good production for 40 yards. I think they're going to run the ball a lot in this game. I think Robinson at 7,200 is a good price. He is currently ranked the 4th best running back in the NFL right now for fantasy. So this price is not reflecting his output on this season. In the matchup, it's fantastic against this Giants defense. 27th overall in the league, 24th against the rush. The game script has the Commanders running the ball. There's nothing to not like about Brian Robinson on Sunday. Going over to my website for that credit code. You got to be signed into an account on my site. If you don't have an account, you can make one. No credit card required. You also get bonus credits for signing up. Go to the shop page. This is where you buy all your credits. These credits, universal currency on my website to buy all of my content. As you can see here, NBA for FanDuel, DraftKings main slate, NFL, and then anything I post on that top banner, non-main slates. But these credits get you access to all of my stuff. And if you go to the coupon barcode here at the top on the shop page, type in NFL Week 11 in all caps, and then hit apply coupon. After a couple of seconds, the page will reload and you will get 15 free credits put into your balance. Just make sure you like this video and subscribe. I've done a free code in every NFL video this week. We will maintain it throughout the season. For wide receiver, we have Justin Fields coming back this week for the Bears. So that, directly reflects on the line. It's only 7.5. I know 7.5 is a lot in the NFL, but I say only because it is the Bears and they're on the road against a really, really good team in the Detroit Lions. So the fact that this spread is 7.5 means that, Justin Fields is back. Because if you had Badgett still starting for the Bears, my guess is that this spread would be 10.5 or even more, honestly, against the Lions on the road. So this game shouldn't be a blowout, but you never know. But this script is saying that the Bears are going to be throwing the ball, and they should be down a little bit in this game. They're going to have to rely on the pass, and I think DJ Moore is a great play at 6,800. He's one of the top receivers this week in projected receiving yards. He's at I forget what it was, but 64 receiving yards. And last time Justin Fields played a full game with him, October 5th. And what did DJ Moore do on primetime? 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had touchdowns in 2 prior games before that with Justin Fields thrown to him. Fields got hurt against the Vikings on the 15th of October. So DJ Moore's kind of just been coasting since then with Badgett throwing the ball. We all know Badgett isn't, a good enough quarterback, especially throwing the ball. So that's why his numbers haven't been great, but he's kind of been, staying above water here with a below average quarterback thrown to him. I like DJ Moore a lot with Justin Fields back and throwing in a, friendly game script for the passing attack for the Bears this week. For tight end, there's a lot of good middle range options here. From 5,600 to 6K, you could go with Cole Kmet for the same reasons I just talked about DJ Moore. Evan Engram, not bad. Dalton Kincaid. Trey McBride is, coming into the league here as a young star as a tight end with Kyler Murray thrown to him. He had 131 receiving yards last week. 3 weeks ago, he had 10 catches for 95 yards. So he's looking good. If you have Kyler Murray especially, not a bad idea. But I'm going to go with Dalton Kincaid. I do think Kincaid is better than all these guys. The problem is he has the worst matchup out of the bunch. Facing the Jets. Third against the pass, but I'm not going to look too deep into that. We still have Josh Allen throwing the ball. He's had, kind of a below average season for Josh Allen. They had a brutal loss last week against the Broncos on Monday Night Football. So, or was that Sunday Night Football? I forget, honestly. But I think they're going to bounce back this week. They're at home. They're 7-point favorites. Kincaid has been a huge target for Josh Allen since Dawson Knox went down with his injury. So I like Kincaid. He's getting a bunch of targets. He's a big red zone threat. 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. He's been, really, really solid. He's been the number 2 guy behind Stephon Diggs on this offense. $5,800 is just too cheap of a price in my opinion. And if you wanted to go up a little bit to Sam Laporta, that never hurts either against the Bears. He's just a whole, almost $1,000 more at $6,700. But I like Kincaid. I know the matchup isn't great this week, but he's had a huge part of this offense since Dawson Knox went down. And then for defense, this is a great play. It's probably going to be a popular play. Pittsburgh Steelers at Cleveland. We have Deshaun Watson out for the year now. He's going to need surgery on that throwing shoulder. So they have, I honestly forget the Browns quarterback name. They're starting Dorian Thompson-Robinson now, which, I don't have to talk about that too much. He is going to struggle, in my opinion. The Steelers' defense has been unbelievable. This is coming in as one of the lowest over-unders ever. It's a 33 over-under right now. It's a pick-em, basically. I like the Steelers' defense. The Browns are just so banged up. They're on a ton of their backups. Obviously, Nick Chubb out, and now Deshaun Watson. So this Browns offense, I think, is going to struggle to string together good drives. And this Steelers defense has been good all year. They're only allowing 20 points a game. They're averaging almost 10 fantasy points a game, which is a ton for a defense. They've looked really good. 4 out of the last 5 weeks, they've been really good. Given up under 20 points in 4 of those 5 games. And I think they're just going to, an over-under of 33 is going to call for defense. And I like the Steelers. They're only 4,000. In my opinion, they should be easily over 4,500 in this matchup. So this is a good value play at defense for the Steelers. That'll do it for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Put in that code. Let's have a huge Week 11. Like the video. Subscribe for all future videos. And until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.